How to get a passport fast in 2025. Expedited options explained. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Morii and Sam Go Global YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This channel is designed to talk all things about digital nomad, from getting passports to getting a digital nomad friendly job or income, to the best places to travel as a digital nomad, to the safest places, to different itineraries, how to save to travel, all that good stuff. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Oh, also I want to add, if you are new to getting your passport and you are either new to getting your passport or you're renewing your passport, be sure to check out the free passport prep checklist. That's where I go into all the necessary documents, how to be prepared, all that good stuff. So that way, when it's time for you to either get your passport for the first time or renew your passport, it can be as smoothly as possible and as stress-free as possible. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So, whether you've got a surprise trip or a last-minute work assignment, or you simply forgot your passport was expiring, do not panic. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can get a U.S. passport quickly, including the expedited services, appointment options, and common pitfalls to avoid. So, first, I want to talk about what does expedited even mean in the first place? Like, what the heck is that? So, expedited service, which means that your passport application gets processed faster than usual. So the standard or the routine service process time is normally 6 to 8 weeks, but for expedited, that can bring that down anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks, which makes a big difference, okay? So in 2025, there are 4 main ways to speed things up. So each has its own time frame, cost, and requirements. So first, let's talk about the option number 1, which is expedited by mail, which is that 2 to 3 weeks I was just talking about. So this is the most common fast track option, and it's the easiest. So who is this for? This is for anyone renewing or applying for a passport in advance of travel. So this is also for if you're not traveling within the next 14 days. And this is also for if you are somebody that has no urgent life or death circumstances. So now I want to talk about, for the first option, getting, your passport expedited by mail, what would you need? Well, first things first, you're going to need a completed passport form, also called the DS-82 for renewal, and then the DS-11 for new applicants, okay? So your passport photo needs to be taken in the last 6 months. And again, be sure to check in the link. Well, be sure to check the description for the link to the recommended passport online photo that I recommend. But yeah, so you need to make sure that you get your passport photo. I also recommend checking your local CVS and your Walgreens. I know here in Texas, we do have some Walgreens that actually have the passport booth service where you can pay the money and they will take your passport photo for you and make sure that your passport photo does fit the guidelines as far as like how your head placement looks like, all that good stuff. So be sure to check that out too. And then you also need your payment. That will have to be $130 for standard, and of course the $60 for the expedited fee. Now you could also add a extra $20 if you want it within 1 to 2 day return shipping, which is optional, but it's smart. And then you would need to make sure that you mark expedite clearly on the envelope when you're sending off your application. So, still on option number 2, you would need to send it via the expedited mail address. So you would need to check, because I don't know where you live here in Texas. I know where I would need to send it to, but for overall, you would need to check the travel.state.gov is what I would recommend. But you need to make sure that you have a trackable mail service like USPS Priority Express and send it through there. That way you're able to track where your package is at. Option number 2, you can go in-person appointment at the passport agency, and that can be the same week service. So if you're traveling within 14 days, you might qualify for the urgent travel processing. So what you get here is you get passport. You can get a passport within as little as 1 to 5 days. And in order to get this, you must apply in person at the U.S. Passport Agency. Okay? So here are the requirements. You would need proof of travel. So that could be a flight confirmation or a cruise itinerary. You will also need a appointment confirmation. So you can book online or you can book by calling 1-877-487-2778. You also need to complete your form, photo, payment, all that good stuff. And you would have to find some location. Well, here I put some locations allowed for walk-in for a life or death situation. But essentially, you would need to find your nearest agency, and you can find that by going to travel.state.gov/location. All right, option 3. Option 3 here. This is like for if this is a life or death emergency passport. So this is 24 to 72 hours. So you can qualify for this if you have a emergency that is life or death. That is death of a close relative overseas. So this is the fastest possible passport issuance, or getting issued a passport the fastest, as if it's a life or death situation. So here you would need proof of emergency, so death certificate. You would need hospital letter, some type of proof. You will also need proof of immediate travel. So here you also need a completed forms and fees and an appointment at a passport agency. Again, this is available by phone only, so you would need to call 1-877-487-2778 and follow the prompt for emergencies. All right. So, what would slow you down? Obviously, one of the things that would slow you down is a bad passport photo. Believe it or not, this what slows down so many people. So don't let your photo be the reason your passport gets delayed. It must be taken at least 6 months. You must have a white background. You must show a neutral facial expression, and it needs to be 2 to 2 or 2 by 2 inches in size. Okay. Cost breakdown for fast passport service in 2025. Now, this is kind of like a recap of what I went through, but if you're more so of like a table type person, this would be a good screenshot, or you can jot it down. But I have the service types right here, and we have routine by mail. The processing time is 6 to 8 weeks. Estimated time estimated cost is $130. Of course, if you want to expedite it, that is anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks, and that can cost anywhere between $190 to $210. If you have an in-person emergency or in-person agency, the processing time is anywhere between 1 to 5 days, and the estimated cost is $190 to $250. And if you have a life or death emergency service type, processing time is anywhere between 24 to 72 hours. Is estimated cost. It really varies case by case. So here's just a quick little checklist for the expedited passports. You need a completed DS11 or DS82 form. You need a valid photo ID. You need a new passport photo. You need to pay either check, money order, or card. It depends. Most of the time they don't accept cash. You would need some kind of proof of travel if it is required. And on your envelope, please make sure to clearly mark that it is expedite, especially if you want that quick turnaround. Okay. And last but not least, you need the trackable shipping for your peace of mind. So, I'm going to list some helpful resources down below in the description. Be sure to check that out. I'm going to have the DS82 for renewal forms, the US passport agencies that would be kind of near you, just the overall website. Of course, the iVisa. iVisa is great for is great for giving you, I guess, guidance when it comes to visas from all over the world. What are the requirements? And it gives you visas. It's a visa service pretty much. And then I'm also going to link in the description down below the passport photo tool that I recommend. So with that being said, my final thoughts here. Well, I actually have some final tips for y'all. Make sure that you renew your passport 9 months or more before it expires. Do not wait to the last minute. Always check the entry rules for the countries that you visit. So many require 6 months of validity or valid. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Being valid. And then don't risk your trip being lazy or procrastinating. Make sure that you expedite early, even if you feel a little bit unsure. So, with that being said, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. If you found content like this valuable, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I would love to hear y'all's experience when it comes to getting passports and what you recommend as well. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Bye.